Hello everyone, Ciantier here, and today I have a really silly idea. So I thought this might be fun to attempt. It's going to be a sort of challenge run. I'm planning on going through just everything in normal mode. By everything I mean prophecies. I'm going to attempt prophecies in normal mode with a crazy restriction. So quite some time ago, there used to be what were these? Were these? Oh yeah, this was like another set. So okay. So there have been a number of different sort of pre-builds throughout the years. The original set of old pre-builds here that are almost all universally terrible for one reason or another. For example, the protection healer is for some inexplicable reason... Oh my goodness. I don't even know where to begin with this bar. Anyway, my plan is to try to beat Prophecies using only... Well, I was thinking only those old pre-builds, but maybe I'll allow Costume Brawl builds because they might actually do anything. And maybe I'll try the EW pre-builds as well. So the pre-builds, for those who are unfamiliar, were... And I don't remember if this is... You know what? These might actually be legit builds. Maybe I won't allow these guys. I don't know. I don't remember where these came from. But they look like they might be in the right category to include. Anyway, the pre-builds were things that were used in PvP. When you would make a PvP character, then you would get an option of pre-builds to use. I forget exactly how all of that interface was set. It was a very, very long time ago now. I think they might have phased them out. I don't remember if the EW pre-builds was a set of their builds that they used in PvP that they released, or if they were pre-builds that were actually used. I suspect they were pre-builds that they might have actually used, but something like these names make me think that they were, in fact, builds that were used in this list of selectable builds. I think I will allow them because none of these are terribly exciting. But I'm going to start off with these old pre-builds here. These were some very old pre-builds, and many of them are aggressively questionable. So as a ranger, I should load up one of these old pre-builds. I get three options. I have the Brutal Bombardier, which used Brutal Weapon with Barrage to deal area of effect damage. And for some reason has Dodge on its bar. There's the Ivex Trapper. So Ivex was a guild back in the day that for some reason or another was given the opportunity to make a build. So, you know, none of these were good, but this was a build that I can use, which has a couple of traps, and for some inexplicable reason, its elite is Poison Arrow. Or there's Fang of Melandru, which is a dagger build. I think I'm going to start with Ivex Trapper, just because that sounds like a fun starting place. Let's see. Okay, that's minor marksmanship. Okay, Beast Mastery from my pants. That's okay. Now, I need to fill out the rest of my party. We're all level 20 here, so we're just going to absolutely cruise through this. So I think I might throw on a Gorin, who's got a nice hammer. There's a hammer build in there. And what am I... Oh, I don't... This doesn't have scrolling going on here. Maybe I want to throw on Acolyte Sasuke, because Elementalists usually are good. And then I need some sort of healer. Let's go ahead and throw on Zandra, and run Zandra as a healer. I don't need Eye open right now, do I? No, I don't think so. She's all channeling magic. Okay, so let's see. There is a hammer build, like I was mentioning, that I'm going to go ahead and give Gorin in this old pre-builds. Specifically, the Abominable Snowman. This one is a sword build. That's questionable. But the Abominable Snowman is also super questionable. I don't know why it has both Armor of Mist and Sprint, for example. So he's going to get this mess. Let's see what I can give. Man, these are so bad. You might be wondering, what did I click in? I want old prebuilds. So I have Pyromancer, which is horrendously dubious. Dark Flame, which is quite dubious. It's a bunch of shadow steps to enemies with point-blank area of effect spells. And then there's this Ice Blighter. I think this Ice Blighter is the least bad of these. I don't know why it's speccing so much. I guess it's to make its Ren enchantments work. Like, to be clear, none of these builds are any good. Like, and the reason why I'm going for a Ritualist Healer has to be explained. So, the Monk build options are the DW Healer, which has Orson of Healing, Word of Healing, Healing Touch, Healing Seed. For some reason, it has Smite Hex rather than Remove Hex, even though it's not using any Smiting Prayers. It has Mend Ailment because it can target itself, you see. And then it has both Vengeance and Restore Life. So it is literally throwing away 2 skill slots on Resurrection. This is not a good build, if there's any question. Then there's the Phi Boon Healer, which is Remove Hex. Good, they got that figured out. Infuse Health, which I definitely do not need. Orson of Healing, which is very mediocre. Heal Other, which I do not like. Healing Touch, again, is like super popular. Duena's Quiz, which is excellent. Offering of Blood, which is really solid. But then it has a skill right here, Divine Boon. Divine Boon used to work with all monk spells, if I remember correctly. It no longer works with all monk spells. It only works with Divine Favor and Protection Prayer spells now. Because apparently it was overpowered when it worked with Healing Prayers. I don't know. But this build was designed to work with Divine Boon, making Orson of Healing actually heal for real amounts of health and stuff like that. So this build is gimped. It is crippled. It just doesn't function, right? It's so bad. It is so bad. And then there's the Protection Healer, which is not a healing build. It is, in fact, designed like... So its only skill that can actually heal somebody, like, reliably is its Elite of Shield of Regeneration. Oh, man. This thing is so energy intensive. It's ridiculous, which is, I guess, why it has Bonetti's defense, because that does gain you energy on blocking things, but that is not great. So I have this option here of Earthbinder, which has Mantra of Resolve on it for some reason. I guess to allow you to be able to cast your spirits. Why does it have... Was Bloodsong originally in Communing and then moved to Channeling at some point? Because otherwise this does not make any sense. So my other choices here is Soul Spinner, which has Spirit Light, Mend Body and Soul, Wielder's Boon, Weapon of Warding, a couple of Healing Spirits, Remove Hacks, and Flesh on My Flesh. So this build is a build that actually does something. So this is the build we're going to roll on good old Zandra here. Now, her equipment is for a different build, so I might just get her. So this is slash bonus. It gives me a bunch of stuff, and one of the things it gives me is the Hourglass Staff. I don't need the rest of this stuff, so I'm going to take the slow, tedious process of deleting it. This feels really small. Is my interface in this game shrunken for some reason? I don't think it is. It's just, for some reason, it's feeling really small. So anyway, this is what I got to work with right now. I should figure out what allotment of bows I want equipped to my weapon slots. So I'm using the Ritualist Healer because all the Monk healing builds are very bad for various reasons. I don't really like a flat wing bow. I can use the short bow. What do I have? Another short bow option. Long bow, recurve. That's a staff. Horn bow. Here's a short bow. So let's equip that here. And then how about this Rotwing recurve bow? And I guess I will leave. No, let's put the Silencing Jade bow on here. Cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll with this setup. So yeah, I'm not sure how far. Yes, that's fine. I'm not sure how far we'll be able to get because like we'll absolutely be able to get out of Ascalon. We'll absolutely be able to. We'll probably be able to cruise all the way up to Kryda. I imagine we'll be fine making our way through. Oh man, this bar is just so bad. We'll be able to make our way through. Like everything's so pretty low level, so this is like not a huge deal. Anyway, as I was trying to say, we'll be able to make our way, I'm sure, through the Maguma jungle. Crystal Desert is where we might start seriously having struggles, though. Trying to do this, and I imagine I'm going to stall out, like, if it's not before Ring of Fire Island Chain, this is probably going to wreck me. Like, if I can get through Hell's Precipice with this set of restrictions, I'll be surprised. Now, something that I do want to do, and one of the purposes behind the skill review project I've been doing has been to rate all of the skills, so that way I can then make a program to give me random pools of skills with the goal of doing challenges with limited pools of skills. So that's something that I want to do at some point in time. Wow, that's a very weak heal area. But that's still a month off. There's 4 more professions to review. The monk just came out, so there's there's 2 for each of the other campaigns. So that's just going to be a little bit before I can get that, and then I have to all enter them into the program and write the rest of the program and stuff. So that's still a ways away. It will be coming eventually, but you know, I figured this would be a fun thing to try, and that's something that I might want to actually stream, because at some point in time, I do want to do that. Wayfarer's Reverie is still going on, by the way, in my time. Poison Arrow killed that guy. I mean, it does last for 17 seconds. That is a lot of damage. That's 8 times 17, which is going to be 80 plus, I want to say that's 56. Yeah, 56. So that's, what, 126 damage? I can do math. Where do you think you're going? Get crippled. Oh, man. Did I mention that this build is just so bad? Here, have maybe a flame trap. Like, it doesn't have anything to defend itself while trying to flame trap. It's just like... Ugh. I do want to try to get out of Ascalon today. I think that should be relatively feasible. This mission is shockingly long for how little it involves. Oh man, I love this view. I'm gonna send my heroes down there to begin clearing stuff out, and I'm just gonna take a nice screenshot of that. Maybe that will be the thumbnail. I think it will. I think that'll become the thumbnail. That, or I'm gonna dig up one of the pictures of one of these old pre-builds and slot them into the... We'll see. Because I have, like, that's how I recorded these pre-builds. I found the, or I took screenshots of them and stuff. Like, I saved that information. I'm reminded now of a really funny thing that I read in an IRC chat that I used to hang out in for this game. Back when hanging out in IRC chats was a thing, because Discord has kind of displaced that. Discord and Twitch chat. But yeah, I loved hanging out in an IRC chat for this game back in the day. And I had posted a link to the Paladin pre-build, which I might run on one of these heroes at some point. But I can bring it up right now, actually. Let us to run forward. Oh, wait. I need managed template. Old pre-builds. Let's see. Yeah, the Paladin pre-build right here. So it's I can't like load it up or anything, but it is Sever Artery, Gash, Galras / Final Thrust, Sprint, Healing Hands, Mending, and Restore Health. I had posted that to the chat, and apparently somebody like clicked on it, and his printer just printed it out. So he said, "Great, now I can look up the Paladin pre-build whenever I want," which is never, but it's really, really funny for some reason. Oh man. This is a really easy mission to run, by the way, if you have a bunch of running skills and can deal with the... Man, I don't know why I'm bothering to poison arrow everything. They use Imagine Burden, so if you can deal with Imagine Burden, this is... Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, that plus that is actually going to be pretty strong. But yeah, anyway, if you can deal with Imagine Burden, this area is like... This is a super easy mission to run through, because you can just go whoop, whoop, to the end. I don't know if we'll be able to get through all of... Because the thing is, none of these missions are going to be hard. They're just going to be long. I think I might actually switch to the Brutal Bombardier for the next one, because having Barrage is arguably way better than having Poison Arrow. I just thought it would be fun to try. How long do I get this for? 18 seconds? Ugh, I have too much friggin' wilderness survival. Like, I can try to run up to these guys and be like, here's a barbed trap. But, I mean, they're dead long before that goes off. It's okay. Ideally, you want some way... Like, I can defend myself by throw dirt, and then I can drop flame trap, and then it'll go off and, like, burn things and deal fire damage and stuff. But that is just... so dubious. Man. So, like I said, we're able to kind of cruise through these areas just because we are super over-leveled relative to what this... Who gives Armor of Mist to a warrior? Well, here. Nope. You can see how awkward it is to try to use traps without without the ability to block, or without Trapper's Focus or something. I mean, it doesn't legitimately matter because we deal so much damage, but traps are going to be, I don't know, better placed before the enemy reaches me, I suppose. Okay, well, at this point, we're basically done with this. There's, like, a minute or two left in this particular mission. So, I'm definitely not editing stuff while I'm doing the Guild Wars 1 skill review, by the way. It's just so time-consuming. Which way is even the way out? This way, I guess. There's just so much time spent in recording that, because it is hours of recording time. The build that I'm probably most interested in of these old pre-builds for this character is the Fang of Melandru. Don't attack me. Because this is a fun dagger build. I'm stuck on this guy. Yeah. I could tell because he is still hitting me. I don't know why that happens. It's just some weird quirk of the way that this game communicates to server and stuff. I think it does a lot of, like, trying to figure out what it thinks should happen on the client side, and then the server sometimes is like, yeah, no, you're wrong. And just back stuff way up. But I'm not sure how the underlying architecture works. I do know that if this game ever, or if they ever have to close down the servers for this game, I want them to allow me to download my characters and download a copy of the server, so that way I can just run this myself and continue to play it, even if I can't actually guild up with other players and stuff like that. Because I like this game a lot, and I want to keep playing it indefinitely, as long as I can. And I don't want that to be shorted by the servers going down. I keep wanting to make games in sort of the spirit of this game. The whole way all the build crafting works and all that sort of stuff, or alternatively, capturing some of the emotional stuff, like going from pre-steering Ascalon to post-steering, never being able to go back, and the way pre-steering made me feel and all that sort of stuff. I want that too. Cool. We cleared that. We're now in Fort Rannoch. And I should definitely load the... I don't know if I have all the skills necessary for the Brutal Bombardier. I do have all the skills necessary for the Brutal Bombardier. Fascinating. How much do I get from this? Plus 10? That's not bad. I'm going to keep the same equipment, although... Is this... I'm going to switch to the silencing longbow. I think I want the slightly longer range. Okay, well, let's get going. This isn't going to take... This is going to take a little while just because these are so freaking long. It's interesting, too. They showed us a picture from right here. So I have this for a speed increasing skill. They really love throw dirt. And for some reason, I'm making all sorts of spirits with... The idea is that you place favorable winds, and that gives you +6 damage, and then you apply brutal weapon to yourself. That increases damage. I can target any ally with it, but they can't be enchanted. Aha! Fear my wrath. The thing is, I don't think I can get enchanted in this party. There is an NPC around here. Gurn Blanston. I think he's the only NPC from which you can get a quest. In one of these sorts of things. Actually, I'm just going to switch this bow. But if you're a Prophecies character, he has a quest for you to go report back to his wife on how he's doing. And it's all emotional and stuff. But that is not one that I can take because I am not from Prophecies. This character is from Factions, I think? But yeah, that's... I don't think there's any other campaign that has that sort of thing going on in it. Rorst One-Eye. He's the worst. Armin Saberlin's going to ask us to go and rescue his son. So this character's never done Fort Rannoch. I don't know how you're supposed to do Fort Rannoch without rescuing his son, to be honest. I think it's possible. I just don't know how. Wow. What was that spin? I love this music here. It just has such an empty, desolate feel. I've heard it come up in really weird places in Guild Wars 2. It's like, that music is the old Ascalon post-searing music. It's for Ascalon being wrecked. I do find it interesting that they call this area Old Ascalon because it basically encompasses a good chunk of pre-steering Ascalon, Green Hills County, and... is it Duke Barradin's estate? What do they call that? Well, that's an unimpressing enemy. But yeah, that area... gets kind of rolled up into one here. So that's where Dieter Saberland is, and you kind of like go down this hallway, come around there, and then go up. So, like I said, I don't know how you're supposed to complete this without rescuing him. It is a mystery to me. Hey, look, my longbow actually reaches up there. My shortbow was giving me some trouble. Let's actually switch back to the longbow here. Oh my goodness, it takes forever. I can dodge. Aha! I successfully dodged your arrows. Then I tried to attack you, and my dodge was over. I don't like dodge. I already commented on that and on why and all that good stuff in the Ranger review, so you can go check that out. Short answer is, I don't know why I would use this. I mean, I might as well bring Pain with me, I guess. I'm doing this. The thing is, Pain deals armor ignoring damage, so it's actually super underwhelming for this area. Because all of these enemies are so low level, I'm going to be hitting them with my attacks much, much harder than Pain will. It becomes a lot more interesting in... Because I think... Where is it? Yeah, I go up... I don't remember how this place is laid out. This is kind of a maze. This area is absolutely awful in hard mode, though, because the enemies absolutely wreck you with the amount of damage that they deal. When these char are level 24 or whatever, they're no joke. I don't think it's that bad normally when you're coming through here, because you're probably about level 10. Level 8 to 10. It depends upon when you leave Creasing Ascalon. But for the most part, they're going to be not too bad, even when you're coming through here like in a properly leveled character. I don't know, level 6 to 8 maybe is where it's aimed. It's certainly not unreasonable to be level 10 at this point. We have hex removal. Yeah, what you gonna do about that? Have the hexes you're applying removed is what you're gonna do about that. Oh man, look at that longbow range. Okay, these guys up here can be really hard to kill in hard mode because they're a couple of monks that heal each other. Obviously here, there are a couple of chumps that aren't very effective. See, I feel like you have to come this way, so I don't know how you're not talking to Dieter and getting the bonus, which is absolutely worth doing. It's 1,000 experience points in this, or 1,000 experience points and a skill point, if I remember correctly. He just has to finish talking, and boom, there we go. Lovely. Okay, maybe I'll dodge here just to speed this up a little bit. I mean, it gets me ahead of my allies, but then I need to go pick all this crap up. That way. You just kind of loop back around, so... Again, like, I'm not sure how you're supposed to do this mission without encountering him. That Stalker armor is like a tanned height square, so it's absolutely not worth trying to figure out how to get to, but I kind of want to. I'm not going to, because I'm not trying to take very long with these. This game could have done with maybe slightly shorter missions. Hey, look, a boss that's using favorable winds. How nice for me. Well, I don't have an interrupt, so I'm just going to have to kill you. Oh my goodness, my poor Acolyte Sasuke has no freaking energy. No, I want this button. Okay, so at this point, our quest is actually just kind of finish things. The way you're supposed to do it is, man, if he's able to actually get these off, I would be so surprised. The way you're supposed to kind of complete this, oh yeah, that guy's like impossible to save, by the way, is to repair some catapults and launch them into the char. That sounds really slow to me, and I don't think it's actually necessary for completing it. I think it just, like, yeah, you need to do it in, yeah, because he's just using Deep Freeze and Maelstrom and Ice Spikes. Just so much energy. So, yeah, I'm going to see if I can just not. Because, like, right here, you need to get through this group of char, and it's a huge group of char, and so you repair the catapult for Siege Master Lormar, not to be confused with Lornar's Pass. But, like, the thing is, even with these quantities, I'm just not worried about the damage that these char can put out. So I feel like it's just going to be faster to just barrage them all to death. Like, they're attacking us, and there's all sorts of effects going off, but they're not really doing any appreciable damage. Just because we're significantly higher level. Mostly. So, yeah, we just slaughter that field of levels 5 and 6 char. Much easier than running around grabbing stupid components to catapult. I guess my inventory is full of garbage. Look at all that lovely garbage. I guess technically I could drop something and start salvaging pieces. I guess I will. If these things dropped runes, it would be a great way of getting runes. Oh, it's so inefficient. Okay, where's all this random crap? So that's, needless to say, not the way you're, quote, supposed to, unquote, do that. I just need to push back the invading char army, which means there's a boss back there that I need to kill. Taking out that group of char is just an important part of getting there, but it's a completely optional part, too. Oh, there's dodging arrows, by the way. They suddenly change movement speed and stuff like that. It makes your arrows miss. This is my River's bow. Yeah. I'm okay with running the longbow right now, honestly. I'm enjoying the range. This catapult is working. Okay, I need to kill Urak. The char with 3 R's at the start of his name. Or her name, I'm not... No, it'd be his name, because there's no female char in this game. So, yeah, I mean... If anybody wants, they can use Rack Whitefire in Guild Wars 2 for a char. I would be shocked if that one was taken. Although I wouldn't be surprised if somebody had used it, I guess. Maybe shocked is a bit strong. Like, Spirit of Recuperation is basically undoing anything these guys are trying to do. So many gold coins. It's fantastic. Ooh, a char hide. I might be able to get some fur if I get enough char hides. No, we need our Spirit of Preservation to periodically heal us for lots of health. Whatever, I'll get that crude shield at the end of the mission. That's fine. Oh, I have so much garbage in my inventory. Hey, Iraq Whitefire. Get shot down. Ooh, some char carvings. There's a whole area back here, but you never really see it because it kind of cuts off. I guess you could ignore fighting those guys and go map it if you wanted to. Cool. So I got a crude shield and a gigantic pile of absolute garbage in my inventory. But here's War Master Riga, I guess. He has a fiery dragon sword. They made them super special in Guild Wars 2, but they are not in this game. I mean, they're kind of special, but they're not like, ooh, only special fancy people get them or anything like that. Right, I have these Wayfarer's marks. I should make sure to use them at the end of today, actually. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the Wayfarer marks here and the Charhide here. By the way, I'm not going to identify any of this stuff. It's super not worth. Sure, you know what? We'll just sell the half-eaten masses. Stalker armor probably is worth more just to sell. You know, I'm just going to sell all this stuff and just accept that I like the crude shield skin quite a lot for what that's worth. Oh, I'm going to make so little money doing this too, at least in these areas. So this character already has Ruins of Sirmia and Nilani Academy on his map. But he hasn't done Ruins of Sirmia. Which is interesting because I kind of have been wanting to do this because it's very nostalgic. I should really continue with this build. Yeah, I should continue with this build. I kind of want to do the... I wonder why this guy's going through here. The Blades of Melandru. Or the Fang of Melandru build. But honestly... Oh man, the AI just uses preservation so badly. I wish it didn't just automatically drop it. But this part right here, I have so much nostalgia for. Just like coming down these stairs and into this blasted landscape. Rurik has a lot of AI on him in here where he's just gonna like run off trying to get himself killed. This is the mission that he's most notorious for dying in, I think. So I think... Do we go around this way, or do we need to go down that bowl? Maybe we need to go around this way to get down to that bowl. I don't remember. But there's... Some of these sections are, like, super nostalgic for me in this mission, in this early part, for some reason. Probably because Rurik got himself killed a bunch, and then I had to replay it. That's my guess. Why did none of these ranger builds have antidote signet on them anyway? Maybe that skill just wasn't seen as good back then. But none of these builds are good. Also, this area is full of devourers and it sucks. That's unfortunately just a fact of this part of the game. Good old ruined areas, flooded with devourers and char. I love the feel of this place. It's got all these warm ruin palettes. It's got all these beams of light in places. It has feelings of forgotten splendor. But the thing is, it's not forgotten. It's broken. It's feelings of broken splendor. Like, I love this ray of light coming in over here. That's just so cool. think it might be these stairs up here that I was in particular thinking of. And I don't know. We're going to be down there in a bit. It's just... It's so sad what happened to Ascalon. And the thing is, you feel that. You feel that as a player of Prophecies. Just, like, this isn't some ruin that you're going through. I mean, to some extent it is. Because you never really... Like, this is outside the scope of what the Pre-Searing map went to. But you played in Pre-Searing Ascalon. You were in Ascalon in areas that weren't in ruin yet. You could see what their architecture was like and what their buildings were like. And it means that this is so much more impactful to come along here and see all these things wrecked. I wish they'd been able to make Pre-Searing a little bit of a bigger area. But I kind of appreciate it for where it is, too. It's one of those things where it's interesting. I would kind of like to do a remake of this game as more in the style of, like, Divinity Original Sin. I've not... That's a game I should potentially play sometime for my channel. But I'd kind of like to do one that's kind of more in that mold. That maybe paces things a little bit differently, focuses maybe... I don't know. I could actually see a game 1 that takes place during the Guild Wars before Ascalon gets seared, and you kind of see it in its glory. By the way, we have come full circle. I was up there looking down at this place talking about it being nostalgic, and here we are. And then in like game 2, it becomes the shattered husk like it is in this. And I don't know, I want to capture the feelings that this game has given me, the sense that it has, and I love it so much. It's been such a massive part of my life, and because I've been playing it, goodness, I mean, since 2005, almost half my life, probably. And that's crazy to think about. But I've been playing this game longer than I've been playing Magic the Gathering. This part actually looks a lot like a piece of concept artwork for the game. So it has such a special place in my heart, and I, as a game designer myself, or at least somebody who wants to make games and loves thinking about game design and that sort of thing, I have made a game. There's a game that exists that I worked on. But I find myself really wanting to capture some of what this game has meant to me in, a new experience. Oh, Prince Rurik is now giving his infamous dialogue. As a boy, I spent much time in these lands. Look at them now. But he's right. Like... Oh, and the thing is, he runs way off here to fight these guys, while those other enemies have advanced on you, so he's really good at getting himself, like, killed on enemies here. It's just poor AI design, unfortunately, that they never went back to fix. And the thing is, most of the mission he's following you around and just kind of aggroing on enemies that get near you, and every now and then he's like, wait, nope, I have an AI trigger to go do stuff. And then he does, and gets himself killed. Which, needless to say, sat really poorly with the players, and unfortunately that's his legacy. Like, Prince Rurik is a really good example, from a game design standpoint, of, like, a sort of a dissonance. Prince Rurik is a tragic hero. Oh man, faint-heartedness sucks. He and his father, we're going to see this in the next mission, but he and his father have, like, Prince Rurik really cares about Ascalon. He really cares about Ascalon. To him, Ascalon is the people. And his father, King Adalbern, Ascalon is the land. And you really get that impression from some of their conversations. And the thing is, Rurik decides to end up separating and going, like, the Crichtons have offered them refuge. But the thing is, Adalbern remembers the Guild Wars that this game is that predate this game, right? They're before this game, and so King Adalbern remembers those, and in those guild wars, Ascalon and Kryta were bitter enemies. They were combatants who fought each other. However, in I think we need to go up this way, but these guys are probably going to aggro on us. Oh, there's just a ramp there. So Prince Rurik defies his father to seek refuge and asylum with the Crichtons, to say, hey, the Crichtons want to protect our people. I'm going to go follow them. I'm going to go accept that offer of refuge, right? Because Kryta is the only kingdom to kind of come through the Char's advance that was unleashed with the Searing, or shattered itself and sank to the ground in the Cataclysm, conducted by Vizier Kilbron. And then Ascalon was completely shattered and wrecked and made horrendously inhospitable. Kryta survived through the help of the Unseen Ones, the Mersat. And so, like, they're the only human kingdom in this area, this part of the world, that kind of survived. Now, Cantha was fine, Ilona was fine. But, you know, they were added later, so it's hard to call them a part of this game, if that makes sense. Prince Rurik's got a bug in his head. He's running off on his own. He does that way too much. But he goes and he frees the prisoners, and it's like, these guys can run back, and that sort of thing. Is this... Yeah. This is that one. I'm probably going to do the bonus here. It adds a bunch of additional time, but why not? So anyway, Prince Rurik decides, hey, I'm going to take the Crichtons up on this offer because it's an opportunity to save my people. Like, he wants to preserve the people. And so he leads them on a refuge mission over the Shiver Peaks and sacrifices himself to see his people saved. That's super heroic. It's that's who he is. He's a great tragic hero in a very heroic mold. The problem is that his AI, especially in this mission is by far the worst for this. His AI gets himself killed so easily because he runs off, and if he dies, the mission fails, right? Safeguard Prince Rurik's life. If Prince Rurik dies, your mission fails. So, and Prince Rurik just has these moments unexpectedly where he's like, no, I'm going to go over here now. And that can completely catch you by surprise, get him killed, and then you have to restart the mission, and it absolutely sucks. If I'm going to shoot up there, I need to get... Shooting uphill is hard. So, bows have less range uphill and more range downhill. Hey, Nash underfoot. So, yeah, it's just an unfortunate tragedy of design for this game, where Prince Rurik is set up to be a certain character narratively, who's this great hero, this great self-sacrificing hero, but from a mechanic standpoint, he's a suicidal maniac. Like, he's just absolutely reckless. Just because he runs off on his own without the player realizing it happens, get himself killed, and then they have to start the mission, and then they blame Rurik, rightly, because he ran off and they had no idea that was going on, and so it's just this unfortunate thing. But, like, there's a big design lesson to be learned there, which is, like, if players are supposed to feel a certain way about a character, make sure that the character is acting in a way that will result in the players experiencing that feeling, that connection. And, like, right now, Prince Rurik opened that up and has run off. So, that change in behavior is really what causes the problems. But, yeah, anyway, I I'm sad for like the narrative depth that was lost, just because the experience that players had with Prince Rurik was very frustrating, and I find that to be deeply unfortunate. Just because he is such a heroic figure in all of that. So, look at how far I can shoot. My goodness, that is crazy. That's what elevation does for you in this game. You win some with elevation, you lose some with elevation, but man, does that do some crazy stuff. We also have to protect Errol. I'm not sure how accurate that is. We are going over there. That guy's going to be dead soon. How's my inventory space? It's doing okay. This is a cool vantage point out on this stuff. I love this game so much. It does such a good job of making different visual aesthetics and such. So what we need for the bonus here, I'm just gonna take these guys out, is we need to follow some char into an area and then kill a bunch of them. And it's a bit of a waiting game, waiting for them to make their way in. Prince Rurik and Errol are like, the bridge is up, we cannot cross. And for some reason, he waits here with Errol instead of following you around, and then players breathe a sigh of relief that he's not going to go get himself suicided. I think this is to ease stuff with the bonus. So, yeah, we need to do the drawbridge. How long have I been in this map? For 14 minutes. Across all characters. Oh, man, I'm approaching my 6,000 hour mark in this game. This character I've played 475 hours and 51 minutes over the past 160 months. 160 months is, let's see, 10 years plus 40 months. That's going to be another 3, so 13 years and change. I've had this guy for a while. That's what I'm saying. So we have some random Ascalonian here. Who tells us about the watching this red for 10 years. I don't know why that's relevant. The searing happens 2 years ago. Probably at this point it's still 2 years. So once the searing happens, it time skips forward 2 years and places you in Old Ascalon, like right in this area somewhere, saying, oh, you finished your patrol. I should have a video of that up on my channel somewhere. I don't know where. But anyway, we need to follow these Ember Bearers, but we can't kill them yet. We need to wait for them to slowly and meticulously make their way over to another door that they're going to open. So this is going to be a little boring, unfortunately. It's just how this part is. But yeah, and that's a 2-year time skip. So if that person's been stationed here for 10 years, they were probably here at least 7 or 8 years before. Now, it should be noted that depending on how things were going, the Char were up in this area, so they may have already conquered, to some extent, these upper areas, even before the searing. So that's important to remember and to consider. So it may be that the Char were coming through here long before, and like part of what adds to the mood of this place is the skybox. Like, think about how different this place would feel if the skybox was blue instead of reds and oranges. I think that's part of, because I was talking in the Wayfarer's Reverie video about how I feel about the Alona, and then I find Alona to be very monotonous. And I think a lot of it is a combination of probably somewhat similar-ish skyboxes and very similar. Like, the whole world palette is very similar, whereas, and here in Prophecies, Interior, you have, I feel like, more overall variety with how things look. So I'm going to just wait for these guys to get inside. I think I might be able to kill them at this point. But... okay, well, whatever. I'm inside, so I don't think it closes at this point. I'll pick up that gold on my way out. Once... is that thing following us now? Did we capture the Flame Brazier somehow? That would be funny. It's supposed to fall down. Oh, there's one Ember Bearer left who's just like way over here and ahead of everyone else. That's funny. Now it should fall. But yeah, it's past us. I don't know how they got so desynced. We just need to take out these Firekeepers. It's not a huge deal. We've gone through most of this mission at this point. But yeah, there's distinctly different palettes in... that's dealing... it's rated for 6 damage. I'm having the damage I'm taking from that by being a ranger. So I don't think I have anything. Yeah, it's just... I have 100 armor. So our secondary objective is complete. So we've completed the bonus here. Part of the reason to do the bonus, by the way, is that it gets me closer to the Protector of Ascalon title track. I'm probably not getting it on this character, but if you look, Tyrion... where is... oh, I actually am at 1125 for Protector title track, so that's pretty cool. I must have gotten a bunch of bonuses in some of the later missions, because that's more than I was expecting. I think you can go down this way. This might be faster. I think this is faster to come down out this way. I'm going to miss that gold drop, but it doesn't matter that much. Because if this loops around and connects over here, then that, yeah, that's going to get to the back side of where I need to go. So instead of going across that way and then around, I can just go that way and around, I think. Yeah, so I'm going to miss out on that 21 gold, of which I would get 5, 6, something like that. So it's not a huge loss. Somewhere around here, yeah, there's a historical monument to Sirmia. There's a quest where you have to go visit all of the historical monuments. And this is where you find the one to Sirmia, so you have to make your way back here. So this actually saves me a good bit of time to come out here, because otherwise I'd have to go all the way back there, all the way around and in through that tar and back around. So it's just much quicker to come this way. So here's the historical monument to Sirmia, which tells you that it was founded in Season of the Phoenix, 1020 AE. And it says, if only gladiators died, our heroes, death would be his pride. Here in the shadow of the Great Northern Wall, we build anew. The Second Guild War has ended, and Ascalon has been victorious. For the efforts of the men and women who gave their lives while defending our home, we dedicate this stone in the city of Sirmia. We stand outside the wall in recognition of all they gave, and in faith that the victory they have brought will remain. May the strength in their blades and the courage in their hearts be remembered and upheld. Yeah, so the Great Northern Wall extends here and then comes up and kind of goes around here. And Sirmia was built, like, we're up here, right? This is where Sirmia is. It was built north of the wall. That was a risky proposition, and it was an ambitious one. There's so much going on in this game, and I wish to capture some of the essence of what this game is doing in some of its stuff, in stuff that I make. And someday perhaps I will. I don't know what sort of game it will be. It will probably try to incorporate ideas from this one, just because I love so many of the ideas that this game has. But that's a little anemic of a thud. Should be more of a resounding boom, but whatever. Anyway, if you look at all of the flavor and the lore and stuff, there's a lot going on. Ascalon was quite a place. I don't know what Prince Rurik is looking at. He's looking at something. He's right in that there's a big old group of char down there that ordinarily you would not be able to beat. I'm pretty confident that unless there's like actual level 20 char in there, we could just steamroll them. I'd be tempted to try, but I don't know if Rurik is going to run off like a doofus and get himself killed if I do. So I'm very hesitant to actually do that. But when I can like 2 and 3 shot char with my bow and stuff like that, yeah, these are just not durable enemies. Might be a bad idea to go in there. Prince Rurik is way less durable than the rest of us. Anyway, that's not what the mission wants us to do. The mission wants us to go up here and free some mages and stuff. And then defend an attack that's honestly going to be quite pathetic. I could probably stick Gore in there and have him defend everything just fine, but I don't know. Like, we're ending these bosses pretty strongly. I have no idea what their spec in fire magic is, but it is low. So up here, we're going to see a really strange piece of magic that literally never shows up ever again in lore or anything else. So Prince Rurik is going to come here. He studied at this academy as a boy. And behind this door, which he's going to use knock, which is 5 energy, and that's right, 1,200 second cast time, which I believe is 20 minutes, if I remember correctly. So long. Let's see. Divide that by 60. It's going to go into that. Yeah, it's 120, or it's 20 minutes. It does not take 20 minutes, thankfully. But it's that way he's using the skill the entire time. Skill. Rurik's waits to open the exit door. Ooh, a char hide, you say? Don't mind if I do. Can I speed that up by specifically going to assassinate this boss? That's dangerous. I'm gonna send my heroes back. Well, I mean, I took him down. I'm quite confident that my heroes have everything well under control. Goran's even chasing down these Ashen Claws. Hi. You are not wanted here. Goodbye. I don't know how long this is supposed to last. I don't know how many waves we're supposed to endure or any of that. be safer if I had a self-heal skill, but I don't. Oh, man. Look at this. This area is just awesome. I mean, I know the graphics are only so good, right? It's a 2005 game made to run on as many PCs as they could, because that's how you make money. Are you done yet, Rurik? Oh, look. Oh, yeah, that's the final spawn. Okay, so I actually want to let this play out, just because this is really interesting. They are having to buff these chars, so I'm not one-shotting them. Or, I guess I might 3 or 4-shot those guys. Oh. This is played during Ascension. This music is played in the Crystal Desert. Like, this is Crystal Desert music. This is really interesting, actually. That's playing Crystal Desert music here.
This way.
That's actually quite significant. I'm not sure what the song is labeled in the soundtrack. I could check at some point in time, but...
that was close.
So...
Closer than I'd hoped.
Right here is...
This portal will take us to the Academy at Nolani.
A human magic
From
portal.
There, we can make it to the wall and cross over to Rin. We should hurry. The magical wards will hold back the Char, but not for long.
I want to point out the
Wait,
significance
my lord.
of that.
Come look at what I have found.
That's nice. He found Stormcaller. So this is a magic human portal.
Yes, my prince. I believe it is the mouthpiece for the fabled horn, Stormcaller. With this weapon, we could destroy the Char once and for all. Ascalon could be saved.
I have heard the stories of the horn's magic, but let us not be too hasty. If this is what you say it is, then we must get it to Rin. We'll see for ourselves how much power this Stormcaller has.
Well, it does literally what it
Come,
says on the tin.
we'll take this to my
It makes it
father, King
rain.
Adalbert. Surely he will know if discovering this weapon is our salvation, or simply too late. Either way, staying here will surely be the death of us.
So,
Quickly, through the portal.
this is a human magical teleportation portal. I think it uses the pad on the ground. And then it vanishes. The Char aren't able to get through. This is not a Surrogate technology. This is some sort of human technology, and I think it uses these great portals, or these great pads on the ground, in order to kind of work. But this is never explored again. This idea that the humans have some technology that lets them perform teleportation like this, it's completely ignored. And I find that an interesting and curious choice. Let's see. I'm curious, actually. Where else? Oh, this character's already done Boris Pass and Frostgate. Okay, not Gates of Kryta. Has not done, like... Oh, doesn't even have Bloodstone Fen on his map. So that's exciting. Sanctum K. None of those. I don't know why he doesn't have THK bonus. That one's so easy. Thirsty River and Augury Rock. And then all of the Fire Island chain. So that's cool. It's actually not unreasonable to try to get him all of those then, with what he's done already. Nolani Academy is really obnoxious, though. Okay, where's the... Where is the merchant? Oh, over here. So yeah, that human teleportation magic, like I said, that's something that literally never comes up ever again. And I don't know why. I don't think I'm going to bother salvaging these things. I just don't think it's worth the salvage charge. There's some unidentified stuff, and it can be worth a lot, so... This wasn't, but... Like I said, I'm hanging on to char hides because char hides can be traded for fur if you get enough of them. Man, this build is so... I mean, this is what I got. It's functional, but I'm going to see if there's any other pre-builds that I might want to switch one of my heroes out to bring. Spell Slasher is atrocious. This Pyromancer build is so bad. It has energizing winds on its bar, and that's just so not good. This Minion Master is bad. Warrior's Bane is not great. I could bring a second Brutal Bombardier instead of like Acolyte Sasuke. That's not the worst choice. I don't know. Maybe I should do that. Let's kick Acolyte Sasuke. Let's bring Pyre Fierce Shot as a second Brutal Bombardier. Because that's really amusing to me, to bring Pyre Fierce Shot along. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this mission and get myself out of Ascalon. It seems like a good track. Okay, so the fast way to do this mission is to open the lever and just shoot down all of the char that are going to come pouring through the gates. If I do that, oh wow, he actually has a reasonable bow. Fascinating. I'm not going to do that because that won't allow me to do the bonus. And I kind of want to do the bonus. So here we are. Goron is wasting his energy on Armor of Mist again for no friggin' good reason. Again, why do you have Sprint and Armor of Mist on the same bar? Like, and why does the AI feel like it needs to drop Preservation on recharge? These are serious questions that need to be answered. Or not. But they're serious questions nonetheless. So once we clear here, we'll get to Yak's Bend, and that will bring us into 6-person areas. So that will be exciting. Like I said, the only reason why I'm going this way is because I want to do the bonus, which requires doing stuff out here, and I don't want to drag Rurik along at that point. So, that's just unfortunately how it's gonna have to go. Would it be better to just be like Zandra and then 3 Rangers? Would that be a better build, a better team composition over what Goron's trying to do with this stupid abominable snowman build? We got some random War Master Kasana here. I don't know why there's some random named dude. I think they might join us. Friggin' Devourers everywhere. I feel like things are going down a little bit faster, actually, with Pyre along. Not because Pyre is amazing, but just because another Ranger is going to be hitting real hard. Look, if these Devourers want to fight, they're going to need to come down to us. Here's my... I don't need another Spirit of Favorable Winds on top of Pyres. Cool, we got that guy. Excellent. Okay, Pyre's on guard. Guard is so much better than any of the others. I don't know why you'd use them. Wow. Look at this. I love views like this. They're just... Oh, man. There's a certain grandeur to this game that I am an absolute sucker for. Oh, yeah, we're not getting through that spot easily. I guess, well, we'll path over to it. I do want the Charhide because that's enough Charhide to get myself the piece of fur. I'll show you where that is after this, I think. So we're going to be coming along the ridge here, but I believe at this point, I need to branch off and make my way towards where the bonus is. I'm not sure on that. Bunch of searing crystals everywhere. Yeah, there's a bunch of gargoyles. These maps are quite large for these missions, actually. It would be nice if they made explorable versions of them. I like the way Nightfall handled mission... Like, Factions and Nightfall both handled that sort of thing better, in my opinion. And Eye of the North. Like, they basically kept improving some of this stuff over time. I think I need to get to Promise over there. I'm not sure. The bonus is to go get a book and deliver it to a graveyard area, and I just legitimately don't remember how to get to it. There are a bunch of shattered gargoyles over there, so that is a space you can be in. But I think I need to kind of path around a little bit more before I can actually grab it. So... Is this right, though? Or is this getting too much? Yeah, I don't think this is right. I think there's a path over there. I just don't know what it is off the top of my head, because I don't do this very often, as one might expect. Probably did it sometime last year when I was recording VOD of Consciousness and was going through the Young Heroes of Tyria, which was quite the challenge. Because that's doing all these in hard mode, and they are definitely much harder in hard mode. Okay, we can come down this way. Because I know we get this book that we have to take, and I'm pretty sure we get it on this side and then take it across the spot I was about to reach. So that's kind of where all that comes in. Physical heavy team composition is actually working quite well in this part of the game. I don't really want to go over there with all those gargoyles. It's not going to be hard, it's just going to be annoying. You do want to go over that way if you're trying to map things, though. He took the Tome of the Fallen from the graveyard. The captain ordered me, but I didn't know it was cursed. Now the spirits of those who lost their lives on the wall are roaming free. Please take it back to the graveyard for me. So now I need to haul this book back over. Thankfully, I have dodge to speed myself up 1/3 of the time. I believe I've mentioned that I'm not a big fan of this skill. Yeah. It's weird that the block chance scales with expertise. The one positive of going as far as we did is we cleared out a lot of the enemies, so that'll make this a little bit faster. I don't know why Pyre's using it on cooldown. It's not benefiting him much. I don't know, I told him to sprint. He's probably going to recast his stupid Armor of Mist. I don't know why you have both Sprint and Armor of Mist on the same bar. It is redundant functionality. Technically, you can use them alternatively to get 100% increased movement speed uptime. Although Armor of Mist does make you go faster than Sprint does. Sprint is 25%, Armor of Mist is 33%. But I digress. Yeah, you need to get Rurik up here to the Ascalon Watchman. There's a Flaming Scepter Mage over there. Interesting. I just don't see why you'd bother with doing that, though. It's very peculiar. I'd like to know sort of what some of the design process was behind those old pre-builds. Is kind of where I'm getting at with all of this. So I think it's up this way to get to the old graveyard. Yeah, there's the spirits of the fallen. I mean, I am tasked with carrying this book, which uses the same skin as the Tome of the Rubicon, I believe. So all books in this game use the same skin, I think. Loose books. Okay, yeah, let's speed myself up. I got this crazy obelisk thingy over here. This area has quite a unique feel. Some of these pieces do show up elsewhere. Specifically, I believe they show up in Greenwich Courthouse. But they're very strange and quite unusual. So, these spirits of the fallen can be kind of deadly. I'm going to tell my heroes to kind of stay still. They can get quite cluttersome, but when you drop this off, I believe they despawn or something. Oh my goodness, look at how crazy this is. Well, we're going to have a mess to clean up. Why did that not register? Oh, I need to talk to this old Ascalonian spirit, don't I? Okay, well, my heroes will be okay sitting there. These spirits are at peace because of you. They gave their lives protecting the wall. The story of the destruction was foretold long ago. Names might as well have been written in the Flameseeker Prophecies. Heed the words of the prophet. The sons of Ascalon must not die in vain. And that got our bonus completed. I believe that disables the spirits of the dead or something. I don't remember. It doesn't much matter. They're all wiped out by my heroes while I was off cavorting with friendlier spirits. Because despite how bluntly mediocre these builds are, having 13 levels in this game over something is quite meaningful. Ooh, a blue. I did get an Ascalonian key. I'm never going to use it to open a chest. Ascalonian chests are not going to contain anything worth looking at. That's just an unfortunate fact of... like, most chests are basically not worth opening. Keys are worth more than the contents of the chest painfully often. So, the main reason to do it is the... Do I even have a rank? Probably. There's a treasure hunter title track. Where is it? Yeah, treasure hunter. But you have to open high-end chests, so Ascalonian chests don't count for this. And then it can be beneficial for the Devotee of Wisdom title track right here for identifying rare items. So... I'm not sure how many is Devourer of Wisdom the max level of that? I honestly don't remember. There's a lot of these like account-wide titles that I'm just going to very slowly accumulate over time. So I see you over there, Char. You are a very minimal threat to this party. The thing is, if you're going to be punching above your level, you need a really tight build. And that's just not something that these Char have. If they even have that many skills, which I doubt. Good old 150 damage hits. Frenzy is not always the best idea. It's downright terrible when you're the one getting attacked. I'm getting a lot of Wayfarer's Marks. This actually is the mission that I like to go to if I'm trying to farm char carvings, which can be useful at some points, because you can come in here on like an elementalist or something, open the gates, just absolutely wreck all of these low-level char, and get decent quantities of like char carving drops and stuff like that. Plus, it's a ton of fun. And it would be much faster if we were trying to go in here that way. I want to kill those char off because they can kind of cause Rurik problems sometimes. I think Pyre Fear Shot's trying to blind them. Okay, we need to go back, we need to go back, we need to go back. Because... oh, I have a speed buff. I should use that. Okay, the Flaming Scepter Mage will delay things a little bit. There, that should give Prince Rurik a chance to survive. That was slightly scary. It's really hard to know what char are going to trigger that door to open, and for them to rush forward and the door to open. Because obviously that's not something you want to have happen. The idea of this mission, by the way, if you weren't paying attention or if I didn't make it clear or whatever, is that you show up in Nolani Academy, which is right here, and once you show up, through the teleporter, you discover that the char have a huge siege on the academy. So you can't. Yeah, here's Prince Rurik is like, oh, but we need to go kill that char, which is really annoying. So then you're tasked with slipping around back, as we did, and breaking the siege. Now, alternatively, you can just open the door, and that lets in all of the char. That's a very suicidal mission, or that's a very suicidal thing to do if you are not well over leveled and all these sorts of things. If you're not prepared to take on like 20 char or something ridiculous. But if you are, it's significantly faster because rather than run all the way around there, here, and come back, you just open the door and come out. So you would basically have spent like 3 minutes doing what I just spent the past 17 minutes doing. You would have been able to cut that time down by like 15 minutes or something, 14, 15 minutes. Now, it makes it much harder to do the bonus, which is why I did not do it this time. But if you are intending to make your way through the... what am I trying to say? If you're just trying to get through the mission or whatever, opening the doors is way faster. But yeah, so the basic idea is you slip around back and then you break the siege by slowly driving it out. So that way you can head south of the wall. And we're actually going to Rin, which was the capital, the old capital.
Prince Rurik.
The capital at some point got moved to Draskir. Which we need to go this way. I believe Draskir was another name for Sirmia potentially, but the new capital was up here somewhere if I remember correctly. But Rin is just south of the wall. Okay, we need to make sure we're not losing Prince Rurik here. He will run off and get himself killed, and then I'll have to spend 4 minutes getting back here. But anyway, as I was saying, Rin was the capital of Ascalon at one point, and so we're heading back there. There's a big horn installed right up there called Stormcaller, And as I said, it makes it rain, literally. It calls a storm. It makes it rain. It puts out a bunch of fires, which apparently makes Char vulnerable to more damage. Basically, the Char have like half health after you do that, so they die really quickly. And then you go kill all the Char in Rin. And I'll probably let that last cutscene play out because it's really significant for the character of the prince. It's a significant story moment. Up here we have Rock Fist, which is a warrior boulder elemental. So this game maybe not have the most clever names for boss characters. Do stone elementals breathe, or were you talking about the Char, Prince Rurik? Ooh, he dropped 3 scorched lodestones. You can salvage those for granite, I believe. Not that I have particularly much need for it, but... Oh, there's a granite slab. I like the crafting system in this game, by the way. It has enough variety to be kind of interesting. And they made it important because that's the only way to get armor. Well, there's 2 ways to get armor. One is the crafting system, and that gives you a lot more choices. The other is to go out and farm enemies for specific drops that you can trade for armor. So I appreciate that they have 2 ways of doing it, but the primary way that I think of is crafting. Okay. This cutscene is... It is what it is. I think I might skip this one because it's... yeah, this is just the prince blowing on Stormcaller or whatever. If you really care about that cutscene, I have a Void of Consciousness episode that plays it. I think Prince Rurik will come running down at some point. Skipping the cutscene may have screwed with his AI some. But you'll notice that all these Char are dying at much lower health. I think they have a debuff on them that like halves their max HP or something like that. It might decrease their damage as well. I'm not sure on that front. I'm keeping an eye on Prince Rurik because I don't want him to randomly go dying on me right at the end of the mission, and that is something he is prone to do. Yeah, okay. Prince Rurik is moving now. I really want to pick up these drops. Okay, he seems to have stopped momentarily. This is another spot where Prince Rurik can get himself killed. It's less of a problem in this mission just because it's quite feasible to... and make sure you're following the prince, even though all the Char are super weak and easy to kill. They're not that weak that they can't just kill him. But yeah, this mission is much easier to just, like, redo if you get wrecked for some reason. Well, that guy was no issue. Okay. Yeah, so one of the things that I super skipped over is right here is Bonfaz Burntfur. We actually are running from his army at the end of the Great Northern Wall mission. So when we see a Char and are like, we gotta run now, the we gotta run is his army sees us and starts chasing us down, and that's bad. So, we kill him here. Now, this cutscene I am going to let play because it really shows the dynamic between Prince Rurik and King Adalbern. So here comes Procession of Adalbern. I don't know what's going on with the camera. That is wonky behavior.
Trumpets! The king must be near. The fall of Rin will have darkened his heart.
So Rin fell sometime between the Great Northern Wall mission and now, to be clear.
Hail King Adalbert!
That's a lot of fiery dragon swords. Abbreviated FDS.
Rise, my son. You have done well. The discovery of Stormcaller is surely a sign of victory.
It is a powerful weapon, but I fear not powerful enough. The Char have amassed an army of many thousands.
You overestimate these beasts, Rurik. Do not be afraid.
I am not afraid, Father. I have seen them in battle. Rin has been destroyed. It would be wise to escape while we can. We should make for Kryta and rebuild our strength, not wait here for death.
I will never allow Ascalons to live in the shadow of the Krytans. It is Rin that will be rebuilt. And you will learn your place.
You have grown proud, Adalbert of Ascalon. Proud and foolish.
You would dare call your king a fool? I will hear no more. I banish you from Ascalon. You are no longer my prince, and you are no longer my son.
People of Rin, your king will lead you to death. If you wish to see better days, if you wish to live, then leave the beasts behind and follow me over the Shiver Peaks. We make for Kryta and a new life, free of the Char.
So right there, Rurik prioritizes saving the people over trying to save the land. Like, he's splitting the people, he's splitting the army, he's somewhat weakening Ascalon as a result. But he has this intention of he wants Ascalon to survive, and he doesn't believe that staying in the land of Ascalon is the way for the nation of Ascalon, the people of Ascalon, to survive. And so he defies the king there, and he defies the king precisely because he does not believe that the king is leading his people in a way that will result in their success. He believes that staying there is going to be lethal. So, I'm glad I went and pick up that char carving. And so we see this inherent conflict between Prince Rurik and King Adalbert. This difference of prioritization, and I think that's really fascinating. Is it Calissa Sedgwick? Yeah, excuse me. If you talk to her, she's looking for 4 char hides, and she'll give you a belt pouch or a fur square. And this is one of the ways that you can get actually fur square in this game. I now have a bunch of Wayfarer's marks that I also need to trade in, but I'll do that off on my own time. Anyway, I wanted to show you that little bit. So, yeah, Ascalon, I think I'm going to go check, because I believe when you go from pre-searing Ascalon to post-searing Ascalon... Oh, here's Milka Blanston, by the way. This is Gurn Blanston's wife, the NPC with a quest in the Fort Rannoch mission. So when you accept that quest, you just come out here and talk to her, and she will give you the reward. But I'm pretty sure that... this Devourer is distracting me. You spawn from that... up here, I think, is where you end up. And it's like 2 years later, right by Ascalon City. Now, I also want to, because I was mentioning it earlier, we have here Witness Rastin and Ambassador Zane, and they are in this sort of half ruins area that's been made into a camp. And they are emissaries. This guy won't talk to me, but he says, "Please pardon me. It is not that I do not wish to speak with you, but I am on an important diplomatic mission here in Ascalon, and King Adalbern is very wary of foreigners. It might hinder my efforts to be seen talking to you. I hope you understand." Now, King Adalbern is actually not the rightful king by blood. He became king after the Guild Wars. And Duke Baradin is actually the one who has royal blood, and there's a whole plot about that in Pre-Stirring Ascalon about the royalists and all this sort of stuff. Witness Rastin says, "Have you heard of the great libraries? They are wonderful, simply wonderful. Oh, but if you go, you'll have to get the White Mantle to let you in. Would you like to discuss?" So, Ambassador Zane here is an ambassador to from Kryta to Ascalon to try to ask for them to or to invite the Ascalonians to come and stay in Kryta. Elementalist Azure here has a unique armor set that she's wearing. She says, "Fires undone Ascalon, and now Farah may be her salvation. What brings you to me?" She teaches you some elementalist skills in both pre-stirring and post-stirring Ascalon. This, of course, right here being the gate to Ascalon City, but I talked about that recently. So I guess this is kind of a good point to wrap things up. I'm going to just go back to Yaxbend, and thank you for watching. Hopefully this is a fun challenge to do, and I've enjoyed it so far. It's been a fun little trip through kind of memory lane in that regard, and hopefully it's something that will continue to be fun, even as I venture into deeper areas that will be more challenging. So until next time, everyone, when I will continue on through the Boreless Pass, take care, and goodbye.